Hey y'all, and welcome to Watch Cheryl Scrap. Today is Saturday, May 7th. It is the second session for International Scrapbook Day. And yeah, I'm going to use a collection by Lynne-Marie, and it's called Scrap Addict. And I'm excited to use it. So,
Scrap addict.
yeah. So
Which
if
is what
you,
you are.
yeah, it's true. It's true. I am an addict. I am going to, what was I going to say? I was going to say, if you have not been here before, I'm using Photoshop Creative Cloud. I have my canvas open and ready to go. And
12
I'm
by
going
12.
12 by 12, and I'm going to use just one picture.
Of you and your daughter Olivia scrapping.
Yeah.
Hannah, I'm glad you were able to join a live meeting too. Kendra's in Florida, but not near Cheryl. No, see, Cheryl has to be in the other time zone in Florida even.
Right. Most people don't
Shh.
know there's a 2 time zones.
No, they don't. And also, I'd like to say, it is called Scrap Addict, but Lynn would like us to scrap our passion, not our addiction.
Okay, let's see. I know I scrapped some of these already.
Kendra says she lived in Pensacola for a while and loved the other time zone.
Yeah, Pensacola, it's really grown. Just crazy.
Are you doing this for the Why Do We Scrap challenge, Cheryl, or just because?
Um, just because, and is Kath here? Didn't know
Kath is
she
not
was.
here yet,
Okay. Um, do, do, do.
but Angela asked if this is for the Why Do We Scrap challenge.
Well, it can be.
It
Um,
could
I was
be.
I was actually looking at the sketch challenge, but let me pop over and look at that challenge. Do, 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 do.
Where is that challenge?
Uh,
I'm like, wait, where is
it's
that challenge?
Ray's challenge about why you scrapbook.
Aha. I know I saw it, but just because I saw it doesn't mean I can find it.
Right.
Oh goodness, busy, 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 busy.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do it for that. I'll do another one for that because that's gonna require me to journal
Oh,
to really think. So I'll do the sketch. So let
the
me go
sketch
ahead
one.
and pull. Yeah, let's go ahead and we'll do that.
Awesome. So the sketch challenge is Cynthia's sketch challenge.
And I'm just gonna pull this in. Do, do, do.
My child just like stomped across the floor behind me. And you think he'd be super happy because he's just playing video games. Oh, Cheryl, you'll like it because you can add as many layers as you like to the sketch challenge.
I do
So
like this.
it just, you need to have the heart of the sketch in your final result. Yeah, because I can't see you leaving only 2 flowers. I know you better than that.
What in the world?
Hannah says right up your alley.
Okay, pardon me for a second because
So Photoshop updated in the last couple days. Again. And I already had an issue when it updated the last time and it deleted all of my like shortcuts that I had put in that are my shortcuts. And when it updated in the last day or two, it did it again. I'm like, what in the world? So this time I got smart and I actually saved my shortcuts so that I don't have to deal with that again.
okay.
I just figured while you're doing technical issues, I'd complain about Photoshop updates.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I had, okay, I got the word art, I got the journal cards, yes, and the
Do you
word snips.
have to
Okay.
sync to save them? No, I physically download, like I told them to download them and I saved them directly into my computer so that I have them. Yeah, Amy, I had them saved, but it had been a while and I had just changed a couple of things too. Like I added a rotate and a flip vertical or flip horizontal or both because I do that a lot and I was so annoyed that it wasn't doing that. So yes, you can save it. I recommend it, and if I hadn't been so horribly out of date in saving it, it wouldn't have been a big deal. But yeah, it is a lifesaver. Also, Angela would like to know if all teenagers shout instead of talking, or is it just hers?
No, I think a lot of them do. Oh,
A lot of
I'm just gonna grab one photo and be done with it. Come on, Cheryl.
shout. Lifesaver. Hey, we are all about the tips and tricks if we can share them with you. Make Photoshop work for you. I change shortcuts all the time too. It'll come up and it'll be like, that's already the shortcut for this obscure thing that you never ever do. And I'll be like, yeah, just accept and change that. Like I actually changed Control W to be spell check because I have this issue where it actually seems to be fixed in the most recent update, and I hope it really is, where if I type two letters together, like a double word, like TT, it will not catch the second T. So think of all of the words that you use that have double letters, like follow or my child's name, like all of this stuff. Yes, Bethany, spell check in Photoshop. There is one, and it works pretty good. And so I changed it to do that because I've hit that once or twice. And yes, Amy, it deletes the close shortcut that I've hit on accident, and then it doesn't all of a sudden shut down, which is really nice. But yeah, so the double letters is working for the last two times like the last two updates, it seems to be working, and I'm not having that struggle anymore that I was having with it. But yeah, even the word letters has two double letters, and it was driving me nuts. I thought it was just me at first too, but when I looked on Photoshop, a lot of people had complained in the Adobe forum about it, but they were claiming they couldn't replicate it, so it wasn't a real bug. And so then even more people were like, no, this is a problem.
This is a
So
problem. Okay,
enough people complained finally.
so Kath had posted in the forum, because last night we had talked, and if anybody had anything that they wanted, you know, any questions or something they wanted me to show. So Kath, you know, most of us that scrapbook digitally, we use templates like I design. And in this case, there's just a sketch. Well, if you were a paper scrapper, or maybe you still are, sketches are big like templates to paper scrappers. So instead of having, you know, these spots to fill in, you have to make them yourself. So we'll talk a little bit about how I'm gonna make these shapes. And these should be basic shapes you have in Photoshop Elements or Creative Cloud.
Cool. Hey, Cheryl, will you show where spell check is? Under the Edit tab.
Edit and
Isn't that where it is? Yep, check spelling. Oh, it's in the middle-ish. Sorry.
Yeah.
Not the bottom-ish.
Yeah.
Bethany's like, so if I would find the spell check, where would it be?
Like, where would it be?
You
Okay,
are
so,
welcome.
all right, so I'm going to put a photo edge, and I'm not going to have as thin of a photo because I don't really want to crop off anymore. So then I will end up making my boxes of paper a little bit longer. And usually how I do that is I'll just hit shapes, and you'll have different, you know, I have mine
Option.
customized, but your default shapes should have a square, circle, triangle, and that's really all you need for this particular sketch. So I'll pick my square and then I'll just draw out. And then I can just press the Alt key and drag down, and then I can just use the Shift key while I'm pulling down to make that box. And then we'll do the same thing with the circles.
Yeah, I've scrapped with sketches before. I like sketches sometimes because it kind of encourages me to go a little freelance on it.
Yeah.
You start with the idea and then you just kind of really go.
So I'm not really sure if this is supposed to be multiple strips of papers back there, but I'm gonna use it like just one piece of paper, I think.
Like a striped paper.
Yeah. So I
Cool.
want to make sure that these circles are all aligned appropriately. So I'll select all of them and I'll go to the top. When you're on your move tool, you'll have aligned left edges, and so it's there. Then you can click on these 3 horizontal dots and you can distribute spacing. So you can see when I did that, it moved that middle one so they're all spaced apart equally. And then I'll put that behind there.
Marilyn, they could totally be ribbons or just graphic lines. That's part of the fun of interpreting a sketch. And Renee, I used Becky Higgins sketches all the time a long time ago. I've actually used a lot of page map sketches more recently.
Yeah.
They have a lot of fun ones.
And then I'm going to go ahead and rasterize these layers so that I can clip and merge. Because a lot of times when it's a smart object, you can clip paper to it, but you can't merge it down. So sometimes I like to do that. Then I'm going to go ahead and pop in the
a basic shadow.
Yeah, and then let's see, I'll use, I guess I should have changed the color of those, but I'll go back and pick my square tool here.
Angela makes a good point that she used sketches until she got into templates since joining the Lilypad. It's true. And templates are ready to go. You don't have to do any of this fiddly stuff.
Nope. I mean, this is what I do. I make it easy.
Renee says she still has 2 books of sketches. I actually do have 2 books of sketches, but they're both page maps. I think I finally let my Becky Higgins one go 2 moves ago. I kept the handwriting book, but I don't think that's by Becky Higgins. I think that's by somebody else.
All right, but so
it's funny, the paper scrap stuff that I've accumulated that still works really well with Digi still. Like, they're not as far apart as people want you to believe sometimes. The kits that are free with purchase today, I can explain that. What would you like to know about them? Are you just wondering how you get them, or when you put the amount in your cart, they will automatically add to your cart. So you can just look over your cart before you check out and you'll see them in there.
Okay.
You don't have to add them. They just automatically populate in there. And the kits that are free with purchase, I should see if I can grab the links real quick for you too. There's a $25 purchase one and there's a $15 purchase one. So World is the $25 one. And then the $15 purchase one is Community, and it goes with the Blog Hop. If you didn't get the Blog Hop, it's also available for $5 right now. So, but if you put $25 in your cart, then both the Community one at $15 and the World one at $25 will populate into your cart. You don't have to spend $30, $40. Just $25 will get you both. Does that explain it for you? And then that's the Blog Hop. If you missed the Blog Hop, the 3 of them kind of go together. They're all Love Starts Here, and then it's just a different, it's not emphasis. How do you actually say that word? Emphasis.
Yeah,
Remember I told you there's certain words that I read long before I ever said them aloud? That's
right.
one of them.
You're like, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna change this because um I want to add this
Something
little
pretty under.
card, throwing a little party for your memories.
Aww.
And then
Bethany wrote syllable. You put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
yes, okay, let's see. Remember when? Okay, I'm gonna rasterize this layer as well, and I'm gonna use the rectangular marquee tool, and I'm gonna separate this when. I'm gonna right click in there, and I'm gonna say layer via cut. So now remember and when are on two different layers. So hopefully can put them here.
Renee says she's struggling to get to the 15, and Hannah's like, everything's calling my name. And Bethany's like, I'm trying to keep mine under 30. I feel
Okay,
you. I feel you.
so I'm gonna move all of this over.
And the mixed media kits are retiring. So they're all half off at $7.50. And I know, okay, I am not normally a mixed media person, and like in the back room, I'm always like, nope, nope, not me, not me. Don't look at me for that. However, there are some kits that I'm like, oh, this kit is so versatile, and I totally don't even realize that it's mixed media because I'm like, oh, that one's so cute. Oh, that one's so cute. So if if some of those have caught your eye, it might be something to worth looking through.
All right,
I
now
know,
I'm gonna,
Marilyn. It's sad that they're retiring.
all right, I'm gonna pull out from the world papers. I'm gonna check in there because Lynn's kit doesn't have papers, the Scrap Addict. So it's kind of similar colors to her kit. So hopefully these will work together.
2014, I thought was when it started. So yeah, the fall of 2014 is the beginning of it, Marilyn. So, and you can still use anything that's retired in the gallery up to 50% of your layout. So there's still a lot of things. Marilyn's like, I don't have 2014. Yep. There's an August one and a September one from 2014. It's not really a big chunk of the store. It's only 4 pages, and some of our, if you have 30 on a page, and some of our designers have like 20 times that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, let's see. Cheryl has 24 pages of stuff in her store.
I have quite a few. Yes, I do, don't I? All right,
But
I'm
that
gonna.
sells fast.
This paper comes from Community, Love Starts Here Community, but I'm going to go ahead and clip it to this paper, but I want it to have the stripes vertical, so I'm going to flip it counterclockwise so I get a good.
That's one of the shortcuts I did because I flip striped papers that way all the time.
Yeah.
Yep, Nicole has there's a lot of designers with a huge store. I just grabbed Cheryl's because I was sitting right here and Cheryl's talking.
Cheryl is talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
And
Kim
you know
has
what?
12 pages,
I think I'm going to flip that vertical. I'm going to use the same paper for both ones. And then I am very, very drawn to this paper I used last night, and I'm trying not to use it again. But
I love
if I
that.
was paper scrapping, I would use pieces,
Totally true. You'd have
right?
you'd have piles as tall as you, and you would have pieces sitting on your desk that you'd be like, I need to use that scrap in the next page. You can
So
totally use it
there
again.
you
See?
go.
Rachel says that
Draw.
too.
There it is. All right, now I'm going to go into home, see what other pieces I can pick up.
Hannah says she owns most of your store and that you're the best, just so you know.
I I love Hannah. Han- well, I love all my CT members. Um, and in fact, is Kayla here?
She is not today.
Yeah, she was here last night.
Yep.
But her like tagline, I think it is still scrap with the wind, because you get these custom taglines depending on conversations you have in the forum. But anyway, I'm, Gone with the Wind is my forum name. And so it's just funny, but she has hit the Gallery Standouts blog like so many times in the last 6 months. It's like her scrapping, she's gone through an evolution or something because she's just on it lately. But then Hannah, she scraps with multiple templates in a pack, which she only has to scrap with one. So she's always sharing my post, and she's encouraging. And for a CT member, that's like, those are the things that you want to have. So I'm really, really blessed with some amazing, not just creative people, but they're really sweet too.
Aww. Hannah says she's an overachiever. Bethany says her layouts are gorgeous about Kayla. I'm like, yeah, she's also got a pretty cute kid too.
Yes, her daughter is like super cute. No, don't think I want to use that one.
All of Cheryl's grab bags are on sale too, in case you hadn't picked them up yet. Just thought
Not
I'd share
all of
that.
them. The DSD ones are
All the
just,
iNSD ones for the last bunch of years since
since
2016.
2016.
Let me be super clear.
Yeah, and they are like $1.99. So,
Yes.
and what's a lot of the templates that are in those grab bags, not a lot, I don't know, some of them, I've retired those templates. So the only way you can get them is by purchasing the grab bag. So if you missed them before, but because they're in the grab bag, even though I retired them, you can still use them as current product. Just saying ahead for maybe month of challenges or yeah. I don't know.
I told Hannah that her overachiever makes up for me being an underachiever. She wrote, "You're the best chat host."
Yes, you are. That is your gift.
That made me laugh.
It is so true.
Oh, Suzanne, I'm sorry. She said she's finding it harder to scrap now as her kids are grown and she hardly takes any photos. I am sorry about that. I actually had a long period of time before we had a kid, and I love looking back at some of those pages and some of those pictures because it's so fun to see what we did before we had a child.
But let's talk about that for a second. I'm going to pause in the scrapping and pull up my Google Photos, because this is my son here, and
he's still at home, so he pops up here and there.
Yes, but he stays in his room a lot. He's a big gamer. although he's been going off with his friends after school to go get something to eat or just cruise around. I'm like, okay, go. So, I used to take a lot of pictures of Olivia, and, she's not here to do that. So, I've talked before about my chronic back pain. One of the ways I am trying to combat the negativity that comes with it when it's really bad, like it has been the last month, I started taking pictures of things that make me happy. So like these are like little crystals inside this little bird's nest that's got a little, it's like a little decoration in my house, a chandelier that's outside, a lily that my mom and sister gave me, and I love these trees because they meet, and then you can see here the top part of the heart. So I guess what I'm saying is to find things like my feet and, my pup, embroidery thread. There are so
Things
many
that make
things.
you happy and
Yeah.
bring you joy.
So, like when I went to get my toes done recently, the shadow on the floor was coming off there,
Oh, that's actually really cool.
and I pointed it out to him, and he was like, "Oh, I don't think I'd ever noticed it." But so I take pictures of pedicures and, cooking. And we do take selfies, of course. We have, family events, and we have a cat and all that jazz. So, but lately you can see it's a lot of different
A lot of
things. Like,
Piper.
yeah, this was a rare moment. They were both with me.
Amy says that pets, her dogs, are more photographed and her kids aren't even grown and gone yet.
Yeah. So, and I don't have a picture of me using the walker because I'm opposed. I'm only 51. I'm opposed to it, but I did take a picture of it so that I can scrap about me being opposed. So I'm rambling on here, but that's just to tell you, even little bitty things, if just take pictures of them, you know? All right, now back to the layout. Dun, dun, dun.
Hannah's like, you're 51?
Is that good or bad?
She's in shock. I'm not sure which way she's in shock. She hasn't said. Amanda says she doesn't have kids. There's so many great ideas in here. Amanda said she likes to take pictures of landscapes, her dog, her husband, and her doing things together. And then Melinda says she goes back and she scraps some of her older photos, like her kids from 2003 or her 19-year-old. Oh, her 19-year-old was a few months old in those. Marilyn's been scrapping her heritage pics because she loves those. Renee said she was scrapping older photos for a little while there. Bethany says she needs to take more photos because she's lazy and lets her photographer hubby take the pictures, but then she has to wait for him to edit them.
And you're like, no.
Happy birthday to Peyton, Renee. And that's her little puppy.
Aww.
And then Marilyn says she has no dogs or cats or other pets, so she does lots of landscape pics, animals, and birds outdoors these days. And Suzanne says she does have some cats, so they're the star right now.
Yep. So don't feel bad. You just,
No.
I mean, I scrap the pets all the time. You scrap whatever is happening in your life because that's your life. And, I don't have a problem scrapping not so good memories. I find it therapeutic to like have some control over it, telling the story, and then I can let it go. It doesn't ping around in my brain so much. So, yeah.
I like that.
I've really been thinking a lot today about, because this is this is our passion, this is our hobby, and this is a special day set aside for us to really enjoy the fact that we document our memories in such a creative way. And yeah,
I like that.
boy, I'm rambling. Wow.
No,
Okay.
you're fine. So, I like what she said. She's like, I don't mind. She scrapped some older photos, Suzanne. She said, I don't mind as I scrap for my own creative outlet rather than anything else. And I think that's probably the best thing is, why do you scrap? Maybe you scrap to experiment and play with kits. Maybe you scrap because it makes you happy. Like
Yep.
there's so many different reasons that we can scrap, and yeah, finding the reason that makes it work for you. Maybe you don't scrap photos. I mean, I've I've scrapped photos of my pen collection because my pen collection makes me happy.
Yes.
And that
Yes.
happens.
Yes.
But Renee says she tries to take a photo a day, no matter how mundane it is. And you know what's funny about that, Renee, just as a
That's
side note?
smart.
So now that my kid, we homeschooled him for a couple of years. And so now that he's in regular school, I've just realized that it's so rare. Like, I don't take as many photos of him anymore because he's gone most of the day. And who wants to take a picture of him doing homework every day? And so I
Right.
do find other things to take photos of too because of that. So Liz says she scraps to record her life from day one. Scrapping photos for people, family, or friends is fulfilling, Hannah says. Yep. And also, Hannah says you have very good genes because she thought you were way younger.
Oh, no, I'll take that.
I'll take that. I like how you said, I'll take that.
I'm just gonna take it. Thank you.
I like it. I like that you're just like, thank you.
Yes,
That's
thank you.
we've been working on this, Cheryl. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, well,
Thank you.
thank you. Just
You know what?
accepting.
With funerals, it kind of depends on how you scrap. Like I scrapped a page. I actually just went and found it for you. I actually used, I mean, that's not really a funeral. It was just her in her funeral dress, but I loved the pictures of it. But I've scrapped some of them with just softer colors because I like the softer colors for funerals. But I've seen some people scrap them with a like very bright colors because it was more of a happy celebration. So I think sometimes it just kind of depends on, I don't want to say what kind of funeral it was, but more like what the tone is that you want to convey. So, like I scrapped my grandpa part of his funeral in more of like an outdoorsy, like blues and creams and green because we were outdoors and it was a beautiful day. And my goodness, he was like 90. So while we were sad he left us, at the same time, we were like, it's okay. He led a really deep, fulfilling life and he's okay leaving too. So I think
Right.
sometimes it can just depend on what you try and do. Like when I scrapped the pictures of my sister's funeral, they're like a more of a baby pink because she was only 6 months old. And so there's a much different feel to those photos because of her age difference,
Right.
if that makes sense. And I'm just realizing, man, I have scrapped a lot of funerals because I keep seeing all these different funeral pages I've done in my head. Holy cow.
I think it's good to remember.
Yeah. So I mean, if you're looking for a really themey kit, I don't know of one. I I'm not sure of one that's just like, I know that there's a couple that talk about being gone, but a lot of them I think stick more to just like color
I
schemes.
can't remember. Let me look and see. Um,
What you did for your sister-in-law?
I know I did one for her. File name Anna. But I did this layout. It was a great aunt that passed away. Here it is. Yeah. So this is the church. We were sitting in the parking lot and it was raining and we were just sitting there talking to each other. And well, I didn't mean to do that. Hey, gummit.
That's a good one. Amanda shared the mixed media endings can be beautiful kit. That's a good one too. Like new beginnings, the ending, and it's kind of got some softer color palette to it. And
Okay.
then thanks, Suzanne. My pen collection makes me very happy, and I just added to it. So it's even more happy.
Yep. So that one's called Together. I
Amanda
think
says
it's
she's
in,
51 too, 1971 forever.
yeah, I'll be 52. Oh, okay.
Hannah and
No.
I are 80s babies. Melinda's Club 51 too.
Okay, so what
Does
did
that
I
give you some
use?
ideas, Leanne, of where to maybe start from?
Yeah. Okay, it's using Sabrina's creations. It wasn't the Lilypad, but she's retired. Um, but it was, so good together. So it wasn't even because I was writing about, it says we started out this new year with an unfortunate event, Great Aunt Christine Plant's funeral. We went to Pace Assembly where both of us grew up in church for the service. It was so sad, but one thing I can say with complete confidence, no matter what the circumstance, being with you makes anything better. You comfort me and make me laugh, turning even this sad, gray, and rainy day into a time I remember with happiness and fondness. I'm so grateful to experience life with you, my confidant, my friend, my sister. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Amanda, thank you. I was looking for that one, the Remembrance one by MBK. It is a little dark, but it's not super dark. So again, it kind of depends on what mood you're going for. Silent Battles for Grief. Yep, that's a good one. There are some in there that are a little more down and tragic and stuff. So I think some of it just depends on, I hate to say how you felt, but I mean, really, it comes down to that. I feel so like callous and cruel, but I'm like, there's such a different feeling to like a young life unexpectedly lost than an older person who it's just, they've lived their full life, they've done their things. I don't know.
Right.
So Renee says the few she's done were more about the family that was together since it's the one time that they're most are together. Yep, that's true too. Amy's another 80s baby. Suzanne says she's 58 soon. Ugh, are you kidding? My mother-in-law is like 72 and she is just loving it. Her hair has completely turned white. She goes and gets it colored all the time. Like her most recent one, it's and pink and purple and blue.
I love it.
And it kind of looks snow cone-ish, but like in a positive way. And you know what? All people say to her is, "Oh, I love your hair." Like nobody says anything about it being, act your age or anything like that. I'm like, I aspire to that. I want to live long enough that I can walk around and do whatever I want. And people are just like,
Right.
yeah, you're good. Whatever. Just let her be. She's old. Let her be. That's my goal. Yes, Amanda, that's a good one too. The heart song one that they did in remembrance of Dawn.
Yes.
Yay, I'm glad, Leanne. Denise is 57 as well. Funerals are so hard. Yeah. Renee says she's Club 50 here, born in the 50s. And then Angela shared one that she did last year too. Amanda says she lost her filter at 50. Do you know what I realized? I was talking to somebody and I realized that because they said something to me like, don't say yes if you really can't do it, say no. And I realized that, you know what? That was one of the things I learned in my late 30s was no. And it took me that long to learn it really that no, I will tell you no if I can't do it. I won't try to be the people pleaser all the time.
Right.
Like I'll still try and please you if I can, but if I can't do it, I'll look at you, I'll say no. And a lot of times I'll just say no. I won't like no because it's just like no. No is a
Yeah.
complete sentence. No is a complete answer. No.
Well,
And it's like people will be like, no. I'm like, no, nope, nope, nope. And I think that's something that getting older has given me because I know that's not how I was in my 20s and stuff.
right.
So I didn't lose my filter at 50, but I'm not there yet. Give me time. But I have definitely learned no is a complete sentence. Give me time. That made you laugh, huh, Cheryl?
Yes.
Where do you get some of your shapes for PSCC, Cheryl? Because Bethany says she
um,
barely has any.
uh, um, there are lots of places. There's like design bundles that you can get. Creative Market has shapes and brushes.
Bye, Angela. Hope we can catch you another time too. We'll see you
Yeah,
in the future on the recording.
you can just do a search for Photoshop shapes and you should get a pretty good return.
Return on your search investment.
Yep. That's what I was trying to get out there.
No, you're good. You're good. I was trying to remember if, because you know they have like the Creative Cloud library, and I was trying to remember if they have some in there. Like they have so many other filters and stuff.
Yeah,
I
they
can't
have
remember
brushes, and I can't remember
I
off the
can't
top
remember
of
if
my
there's
head
shapes
right
in
now.
there too or not. So, but that's what I was trying to remember. Yeah, Amy thinks there's some in there. I know there's so many color packs and stuff. Oh, they have some blotch shapes in their stock stuff and a couple others. I don't know. I'd have to research further. They're not popping up right away like I want them to. There
That
are
always
some in the
happens
CC
when you're like
library.
trying to,
Do it quickly.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. No, you're fine, Bethany. Suzanne says 50 was the turning point for her to being more, but not really giving a care what people think of her as long as she's happy with herself. I love it.
Yep.
It reminds me of that be yourself. Everybody else is already taken. Yeah, most of the shapes are coming up as part of their stock images through the Adobe Creative Cloud. But I know that there's lots out there in, like Cheryl said, there's a couple other places like Creative Market and stuff. And for the most part, if you search Adobe shapes, you'll find some. And it's kind of like scrapbooking freebies. It'll just depend on what is.
Yeah.
What is good and what is not.
Yeah, and you make sure that you have correct use of it and
Oh yes, most definitely.
all that stuff. So
Yeah. There are some simple shapes in PSCC also, Suzanne, but it's more like, I swear there's no like triangle or like a scallop shape. So you have to like make your own, and that can be kind of annoying. To get to the CC library, well, I was thinking more the ones that are automatically installed, Bethany. But to get to the CC library, you just have to click library on your panel. And I shouldn't talk about them that way because technically they are two totally different things now. And I forget that. But if you go to adobe.com and you log in, it will take you to like the fonts and stuff and such and nonsense. I like Renee. The website formerly known as Pixar Scrapper.
Yep.
Oh, that's still what I call it too.
What'd you say?
That's still what I call it too. The website formerly known as Pixel Scrapper. I usually just call it, it used to be Pixel Scrapper. Its new name is digitalscrapbook.com. We should remember that. It's a very easy website to remember. Doesn't mean you do.
Know this.
The other trick with that is if you create a shape you like, you can save it to your library. Because I do that all the time, to your Creative Cloud library if you're working with PSCC. I've saved like all my basic photo shapes that I like to use, like 4x6, 3x3, 5x5, so I'm not constantly redrawing them. And I know, Cheryl, I think you do that with a lot of the template shapes that you use a lot, right? Maybe?
Yes, I've used it. I'm gonna make it open up. It's gonna take a second because it has to sync.
Yep. Saving the shapes on a page works too.
Okay, so I have different flowers that I use for my templates. Journal spots, so when I'm making my templates, I can easily grab and pull them onto my canvas. And then I also have just some basic. I don't want to do that.
No, I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that. I don't know why it's wanting me to do that. But anyway, I have
But there
basics.
are tons of shapes out there too.
You can see alphabets, arrows, date elements, doilies, craft paper, sequins, word bits. Yeah.
Also, sometimes what will work is there's a ton of like SVG type files out there because a lot of people will use those kind of shapes. So you can sometimes find those for free that are used for personal use.
Yeah.
And you could just add those to your page and then save it to your library. Paige Evans cut files are awesome. And can I throw out a shout out to her today, Cheryl? Is that okay?
I don't see why not.
All right. If you go to her website, her Facebook group today, if you're part of that, she's giving away like 15 cut files for free.
Yep.
So they're already posted there. You can go and get them. There have been a lot of great ones today. There was a pirate map that made me smile. So yeah, a lot
The
of.
ones I've gotten so far are
She does. She sends a free one out in her newsletters too.
one called Crafty, a passport, a treasure map, a budding artist. So I think it says budding artist and then has like a palette, I think. And then moon, clouds, and stars.
And there's also a hearts border. You'll have to go grab that one.
Yeah, I haven't got that one yet.
6.
I think Hannah just asked where you go to find that.
It's Paige Evans Happy Scrappy Place group.
Yeah, and you'll just have to, I think you have to answer some questions.
I'm like, I can't remember, I'll be honest.
But yeah, she's so, she's huge in the, paper scrapbooking design world. And she has a YouTube channel. If you've never checked her out, search on YouTube for Paige Evans. She shows off mini albums that she makes, and she does layout shares and process videos. She does the cut files that she gives for free, but she has a huge selection in the Silhouette store. And I think she has an Etsy shop too. So she's really, she's just.
She did a 30 days of cut files that were boy-centric last month for April. And so you could pre-purchase them and you got them at a deal. And I did that. And oh my gosh, they were so much fun. There's actually a computer desk that I'm going to use for my own scrapbooking because it's got like the double screens going on and stuff. So she does a lot of fun little things with her cut files. She's got a lot of them. Yeah, lots of her pages are your layout inspiration board. I totally would believe that because she does. She has a lot of fabulous things. It's kind of surprising how many things are out there. How do I use cut files? Do you want to answer that first, Cheryl, or shall I?
You can, and okay. I'll add in anything
that I don't say. So yeah. I will use them. She gives them out, Paige specifically, but almost everybody gives them out as a PNG file as well as like the SVG or cutting file. So I will pull it onto the layout, and sometimes I will use it as like a full background and just clip a paper to it. Sometimes I will fill in the holes like the ways that paper scrappers do, like the art palette one, for example, that she has today. I'll probably fill in each of those little palette holes with something different. It might be a picture, it might be a piece of paper. And then there was, let's see how else have I used them. I've used just pieces of them and turned them into like borders. I know Cheryl's better at it than I am, but also using some of it as like a negative. So I don't remember how you do it in Photoshop, but basically you put it down almost like it's a template and you like spray over top of it. So when you remove it, it leaves what was behind it.
Yep.
Like it leaves I don't want to call it a shadow because we use shadows in such a different way, but yeah.
Right.
So things like that.
I do have some of my big words templates. I'm trying to come in here and look real quick to see where. Here we
Yeah,
go.
Cheryl has some that are kind of like cut files.
Yeah, so.
Negative space. Thank you, Rachel. Yes,
Yeah.
the negative is left, and it's a really cool effect.
Okay, so this one, Hello New Year, you could just leave, the colors in there as they are, but you could clip papers or, anything you want to
So
do. And then I think I had.
some of them just make it look more intricate. Some of them make it look more like I know Liz also has a couple of cut file looks to them, but it's just to add a different type of design to
Yeah.
your page. Some of them are really fun. Like you had one called Build a Background, didn't you? Do you still have that in the store?
Oh, yeah.
And those
Yeah.
ones, kind of like the way you would use the build a background to build up your background so it
Right.
adds interest without having to add a whole lot of stuff. That's
Right.
another way you can use a cut file.
Yeah,
Choose
let's
2 or
see.
3, build a background. Hey, I remembered the template name. That's impressive for me.
Right.
I'll be like, hey, remember the one you did that had a whole lot of little squares and then you cut out the little squares and all the little pieces of paper? And she's like, what? I'm like, I don't know. I just remember what it looked like.
Yeah,
Or
so
6.
I mean, technically you could call this, you could use these as cut files. You just pull those pings into your cutting program and
Yeah.
cut them, but it makes it look like you know.
Yeah, so the official cut files are typically things that are being used by people to cut out, like using a silhouette machine or fussy cut with their scissors. But digital scrapbooks will use them too to add to their things. So
Yeah,
Amy shared a page. She used one for the shaker card.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Liz, anytime.
Okay, hang on. I'm gonna save this.
Page is so sweet, Melinda. I agree. She goes, I wanted so many of those boy ones. They were more generic and not gender specific necessarily. They weren't. I think the reason she called them boy ones was more because there was like 0 flowers, or I think there was like 1 heart thing in it, but it was like 0 flowers and none of the things that you usually look at cut flowers and I'm like, oh, that feels so girly. It was much more non-girly-ish oriented. Like it's not makeup, it's not flowers and all of that jazz. Like there was a shelf, there was a rafting one. There was one that just said, not today.
Okay, I'm gonna try to find one of her more simple cut files, because geez. Okay.
We're also at 3 o'clock, so you know.
Okay. Well, do you have it? Does everybody want me to show this, or I can do it on Monday?
Why don't we use a cut file on Monday?
Okay. Sounds good
and
to
then
me.
you can make that the basic of your background.
Yep. Yep. I can do that. All right. So there's my finished layout. Yep.
All right, are you ready to stop the recording?
Yes.
Because we always forget that. Well, you don't forget this.
I know. I do
It takes
forget
an extra moment to go, oh yeah, we gotta do that thing we gotta do.
All right. Hang on.
Nobody leave.
Okay, I think, well, it didn't say. Okay, hang on. Stop your